Hi everybody, welcome to Daily Deco. Today's episode is sponsored by our very own Teespring store, but more about that later. Because we've got 15% off. And yeah, we're just going to keep mentioning it until December 31st, unfortunately. Cool. So jumping straight into the... thank you for watching. You know the code. Anyway, jumping straight into the news. So the first one is Padi CEO Drew Richardson is hosting an online like a Zoom meeting get together. I presume it's not Zoom, but some kind of proprietary something or other. And it's basically a get together on. Just what's going on. Where they'd normally have a like a Q&A at one of the dive shows, like DEMA or something. Obviously, we had DEMA, but it was nowhere near what it usually is. So now they're doing a digital sort of get together. It's going to be on Wednesday, December the 16th. I think that's Wednesday, isn't it?
Yes.
I'm going to say Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday.
Yes.
It's at 3 o'clock in the afternoon Pacific Standard Time. So this is more predominantly for the Americans. I imagine 3 p.m. I don't know the time difference. I imagine we're probably going to be in bed. Either way, Shaun and myself are probably going to be asleep when this happens. But... it's free to attend, or at least kind of register. There are apparently a limited number of places. I just clicked on the sort of registration thing, and it seems as if it's like, welcoming new members. But if you want to tune in, it's free. All you really need to do is just put your name and your sort of email address in, and hit register. And it's basically going over how things have gone, sort of what you would like to see or change in sort of the upcoming years, anything that they're planning, and just try and iron some things out and see sort of what's going to happen to the Padi side of diving, sort of moving forwards in 2021. It's pardon me. It's nice that they kind of welcome this kind of thing. So they do want that feedback, and I'm sure they get sort of plenty of feedback through sort of their sort of regional offices. But now it's kind of direct to the CEO to kind of go, I know you mentioned this a couple of years ago, that never really happened, or I'd like to see this happen. It's that kind of sort of thing. But
that's pretty cool. As I say, like, it's good that they can do that. It's good that this is happening. Yeah, if they can air out their plans. Can you actually talk? Are they doing a Q&A session?
I believe so.
I can't see it, but then I'm literally half asleep right now. I'm on it as always, guys.
I imagine so, because that's kind of the whole thing.
Yeah, otherwise they just release a video of him going, "We're going to make some changes," or "We ain't going to change anything, and we're going to charge it triple." Yeah,
that's it. But yeah.
That's really good. A connection, because Padi are known to. I don't know. Are they known for their connections and talking to their members?
Yeah, they do quite a lot of sort of updates. Awesome. Sort of, you usually get like a yearly update, which is just saying, "Oh, okay, we've amended this and we're changing this." But yeah, with these kind of sort of get-togethers. Yeah, I mean, it says, join Drew Richardson for Straight Talk Live as he addresses the current state of the industry, what Padi has planned for the year ahead, and how we can all rally around a collective mission to save the ocean. So maybe it is more of a webinar, but he might take questions.
It's going to be interesting to see if they change any of their tactics due to other training agencies giving out free or extending their membership, because obviously they didn't go down that route necessarily. They made it easier for Padi divers, giving making things the same price as last year or whatever, and then the fact that
they froze prices,
difference in the cost
on
how much you pay.
But yeah, if you're interested, you can sign up for free. The next news story I touched upon on an Instagram post when I first saw it. I can't remember if Shaun and I spoke about it in Daily Deco. I feel like we did, but we talk a lot, so it all gets just...
I don't even remember what I spoke about 5 minutes ago, so...
Exactly. We're so busy that we don't even remember. So this is an old Omega Seamaster 300 watch, and this was issued to a former Royal Engineer, Sergeant Major Mick Burton, and he was like a Navy diver back in the sort of 60s, 70s, and he was issued an Omega Seamaster, which is very nice. Now, they only made a certain number of these. I think it was only about 300, and they were only given out in like a sort of a 3-year period or something. And he used this watch sort of for his dives. Of course, he said that you needed a reliable timepiece, and you know, I think this watch did it logged like 180 sort of hours with him underwater. Nice. Most famously was sort of doing some work to raise the warship, the Mary Rose, and that was in sort of 1982. And yeah, he said that that was tough. He said it was like mining underwater, just in the sort of dark depths, and physically trying to dig this ship out of the seabed. But he, I think he's just sort of had it in a sock drawer or something, sort of ever since then. After he retired, and he just kind of considered it one day, and I think he got it appraised or something, and they basically said, yeah, this is worth about £20,000 because it's such a like limited edition, and it's in fairly good condition. So yeah, during lockdown he sort of put it up for auction or to be auctioned. Coronavirus obviously delayed it over and over again, and lockdowns and all that stuff. But it finally went under the hammer, and it made £27,000, which is he's going to put towards his. I think he's got 3 grandchildren. He's going to sort of give sort of some of it to them, and also to bankroll a trip to the Australian Great Barrier Reef as well when we're allowed to travel again.
Nice.
But yeah, I wish I had something in a sock drawer that was worth £27,000.
I've got my Casio calculator watch.
Limited edition. They
Yeah,
only
probably.
made 10,000.
I also have one where you can change the channel.
Oh yeah, I remember those.
That one does not work.
I don't know. I imagine you could find some kind of emulator or something nowadays that will work as an in-between. It wouldn't be worth it, but...
What else have I got? Pair of socks.
Oh, the 1990s, man. They were a radical time.
What I miss about the 90s and the early 2000s, just the adverts. Fantastic. Especially the toy adverts. They're fantastic.
Yeah, we were watching I was telling Shaun this morning, but we were watching a program where they basically recreate sort of famous foods and snacks and whatnot, and they delve into the history of the snack, and yeah, one of them was on Quavers, a sort of potato crisp, and yeah, they were showing like ads from like the 90s. It's like, I remember that advert.
Fantastic. That's why I like
it's weird how
so
things
much. Just that Coke advert, nostalgia, brilliant.
Although, have you seen the new one?
I refuse to acknowledge it, so no.
It's not canon. It doesn't exist in my Coca-Cola Christmas universe.
Exactly.
Yeah. Kim showed it to me, and I was like, oh, okay. Yeah.
That's exactly the response that it deserves. Not,
Yeah.
yeah, it's the truck. It's the kid.
Don't change my nostalgia.
So it's not sad that Toys R Us closed down. So I love that advert.
Yeah. I'm not going to sing it.
No, don't sing it.
Not because we won't. Yeah, not because we'll get a copyright strike.
No.
Just because I can't sing, but I can sing it in my head, and we all know it.
Magical place.
That's the one. So today's episode of Daily Deco is sponsored by our very own Teespring store. It's a little cold out, so I've had to wear a few layers, so you can't see my my Simply Scuba t-shirt on underneath. But yeah, so we have our very own merchandise store on Teesprings. There'll be a link down in the description below to see all the different merchandise. If you so wish, you can have 15% off of your total order, excluding shipping, I believe, if you use the promotional code Daily Deco, all one word, Daily Deco, at the checkout phase. So yeah, if you see some interesting merchandise, then yeah, add it to your basket and then use the promo code Daily Deco to get 15% off of your offer. Yeah, it's an exclusive offer that's been running for about a month or two. It runs out December 31st. We thought we'd run it to the end of the year because everyone's had a fairly rubbish year, and it's the least that we could do.
Yeah, so, we're so nice. We're so nice. No, it's good. Again, if you've got any orders, share them on Instagram. Tag us in the picture, and then we'll put you in our story. I know there's a couple of people that have been messaging in our comments on YouTube saying that they've got the merch. Awesome. Take pictures.
Yeah, take a photo of yourself. We want to see you lovely people.
Indeedy.
Yeah, Instagram doesn't cost you that much, and yeah, just upload a picture, sort of tag us at Simply Scuba, and we'll see it, and we might even share it.
We probably will
so if you want to be famous,
it's free advertising.
We can do that. Shh. Don't let them peek behind the green curtain.
I thought it was purple. Colorblind.
The next news story comes from the Delaware River, and this is basically a search and recovery unit, or an underwater search and recovery unit. Did a little demonstration for some kids sort of recently to basically, one, kind of show them what they do and how they do it, but also to kind of raise awareness for cold water, because obviously it is getting pretty chilly, so going in and around water is pretty dangerous nowadays. So what they did is they did a Christmas themed recovery where these divers basically, I couldn't see how they got the bells in, but they recovered Rudolph's bells from the bottom of the Delaware, and yeah, I don't know whether they just kind of threw them in. I don't think it was from like a float or a boat or sort of anything.
I
think it was a matter of.
They did it.
Oh, you saw?
Yeah, this time last year they drowned Rudolph.
Oh.
They put concrete slippers on him. They had to put quite a lot down because he kept flying away.
As if 2020 wasn't bad enough.
Rudolph is
drowned
dead.
Rudolph.
They drowned him just for this task.
All you can see from the surface is a faint red glow, and then it just dims. Oh dear. But no. So they went out on their boat, and they put divers in the water, and they basically told the kids about sort of search patterns and how they recover stuff, and then they sort of went into water safety, especially cold water safety, and. Yeah, within 10 minutes, they recovered the collared bells, and then they gave them to Santa Claus, who was waiting at the Pittsburgh boat ramp. Yeah, it's... So the water temperature at the time of the dive was 45 degrees. What is 45 Fahrenheit? So I imagine it's pretty cold. 7 degrees Celsius for the metric people. Yeah, they're obviously in dry suits and everything and all sort of wrapped up. But yeah, trying to find anything in 10 minutes time is pretty good going. I mean, I've done search and recovery dives, or I've sort of led search and recovery dives, and yeah, even if you know exactly where it went in, it just takes forever, because in that kind of visibility, it's just look by touch. So if you can't sort of feel it, yeah, I imagine what I would have done if I was leading that kind of like demonstration, I would have had a second set of bells just in a BCD pocket, to be like, here it is.
That's why you're no longer a part of search and rescue, because all those people drowning, Mark. You're meant to help
You just come
them,
back with a
like,
completely
no,
separate.
I found him.
Well, I mean, because these kind of searches can take days, and they're just looking for a few bells. Can you imagine a bunch of school kids just sitting around watching some bubbles gently move around in a square pattern? No, they found them in 10 minutes. I'm sure they did. But
they had to find the corpse of the reindeer. So it's not just
that faint red glow, yeah,
that
the radioactive trace,
glowing red nose.
Anyway, the final news story, which is kind of to do with search but not so much recovery, comes from Australia, and they're basically for a few years now. I think Shaun and I, we've spoken about this before.
You have indeed.
Years and years ago on not Daily Deco but Daily Scuba News, and so these are semi-autonomous drones, which have artificial intelligence in them. I think they're finally sort of rolling out to sort of beaches and coastlines around Australia to basically spot for sharks. Now these things, they have this sort of artificial intelligence sort of recognition software inside of them, so that when they're sort of hovering over the water, they get this perfect bird's eye view that just coast guards on the shore just have no chance of seeing. So they can literally look down and they can tell the difference between people, surfers, and sharks, and I believe different types of shark as well. So they can basically go, sort of that's a surfer, and he's like, oh yeah, that's a shark, but actually it's not a particularly dangerous shark. We'll keep an eye on it, but nah. Whereas if they see that one, they go, oh, actually that one is quite dangerous, and they can raise alarms, and then they'll sort of send that. So they're described as semi-autonomous, so by the sounds of it, they're going to sort of go out and do a kind of a search pattern, but then as soon as they spot something, they'll alert a pilot or something, and then they can sort of start getting people back to safety, because there has been an unusually high sort of rate of human-shark interactions and fairly negative interactions sort of as of late. So they're quite keen on these kind of things, and this just means that they don't need shark nets. They can, to a certain degree, sort of track different sharks in different areas and kind of see where they're going, and it's all for sort of safety for both humans and sort of marine life, so that they you try and reduce the number of interactions.
Yeah, I think it's awesome, as long as there's no like alarm system on the drone. So like it finds the shark, it finds the surfer, and then it goes, surfer, there is a shark underneath you, and then it startles the surfer, and then he falls into the ocean, and then the shark goes.
Yeah, I think the surfers, especially in sort of Australia around here, they're fairly savvy. They know not to kind of like splash around and do all that kind of stuff. But yeah, if there's suddenly this like, because they're quite big, these drones. They're not like the little things that you kind of imagine.
Yeah.
These things are like 4 foot wide. Well,
they have to do the camera that they probably have to do. The fact that they can scan a shark and it's like a little blob, but they can. Obviously, there's probably algorithms where they measure the shark and all that sort of thing. Oh no, because of these measurements, the way it moves, it's this style of shark.
Yeah.
So the sophistication
incredible
on it is ridiculous.
Yeah, and they. I also remember seeing a news story about another type of drone that basically carries like life rings, life preservers, and then if it sees someone in trouble, it kind of hovers over them and then just like drops one of these flotation devices. Yeah. So yeah, I think drones very much are the future.
They are indeed.
But who was it? Mr. Gibson. I can't remember who CASA is, but they're basically saying that these drones, they the Civil Aviation Safety Authority, they're of course putting it through like hours of stringent tests to make sure that they are a benefit and they're not going to sort of cause any harm. Basically said that the biggest kind of problem that we can foresee is if one of these drones literally just for whatever reasons just drops out of the sky and manages to land on someone in the water. They're like, that's kind of the biggest problem that we can foresee. Yeah, and obviously it's a pretty big ocean, and surfers move at a fair pace. Yeah, I don't think there's too much of an issue. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I don't know how much noise they make, because when you go to the beach, you get the sort of the nice like sound of the ocean of sort of rolling waves. But I think now you might just get.
Yeah, I would assume they would be very, very loud. But then it depends on how high up they are.
Yeah, I don't know how high they are, but yeah, if it's.
Dude, that's like totally a shark there, man. All right.
But yeah, if it saves lives, then yeah, I'm all for it.
Yeah, if
I don't know how much we can use this.
It protects surfers from negative press and all that sort of thing. You know, if it stops, like you say, nets, people going, you know, doing the classic Jaws and going out killing sharks that weren't even in the waters at the time.
Yeah,
it's a win-win, really.
However, we do come back to our usual Daily Deco post of it's a smart drone being sent out into the wild by itself. And it can recognise sharks how long before it just, so like steers a surfer into a shark's path just for the sheer joy of it, because humans and robots don't really mix.
Next week, next week is going to be the pure Daily Deco is a surfer's death led by drone every single episode. I say that we're only doing two episodes next week. Because we're on Christmas holidays.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, we should probably step on that for a moment. So yeah, we're moving into our holiday season timeline, as it were. So as you probably guessed, Shaun and I, we record Daily Deco daily. We of course are allowed.
You're a mad man.
We are allowed holidays from time to time. So we're taking a lot.
I'm taking mine not paid, mate. What's going on?
You get paid.
That classic line is back.
So yeah, we're about to go on holiday. Is it next week?
Yep, next week.
December has just disappeared for me.
Yes.
So yeah, we've pre-recorded a few bits and bobs that are sort of coming out. You'll probably see, or you probably have seen, the first few 12 days of Mark that I filmed a little while ago. Yeah.
Your first one did better than the Saturday interval. Your first 12 days of Mark in the 24-hour trend. It did better than our usual Saturday one. But then the Saturday one, not many. I think it was the packing one or something, or a checklist.
I don't know. I filmed that weeks ago.
Months ago.
Maybe. But yeah, so there'll be less Daily Deco. I'm sorry, but there will be some sort of pre-recorded stuff that we've already gone through. So lots of sort of advice. There's a few sort of product breakdowns, which are a bit like sort of shorter not daily decos, deep dives on certain products. So it's just something to tide you over the Christmas period. It's fairly evergreen, so just kind of interesting stuff to kind of learn about. Talking about mainly dive equipment. So yeah, if you're sort of sat at home, you just finished your sort of Christmas dinner, you got sort of nothing to do. There's nothing on TV. Yeah, it's just something to sort of brush up on your scuba diving equipment, and maybe you can start sort of shopping around for some new scuba diving equipment because it is the season, and yeah. Yeah, you need to sort of update a few things.
Yeah, I was going to say, so Daily Deco, it's up till next Wednesday. Then rather than having the Q&A on Christmas Day, we've put that on Christmas Eve. And then there's a Christmas video. Then it's the weekend, so then you've got the deep dive and the surface interval, so that happens as usual. And then, then obviously, like Mark said, there's some bits. In the new year, I think the Daily Deco, the first Daily Deco and the first surface interval, they normally go live at 2 p.m. I've actually changed that to 5. Now, the reason for that is that Google Analytics, I don't know whether we've hit a certain tier, but they've updated their analytical page. But a lot of you guys that watch these videos actually don't watch them till the evening. So the prime time for the channel is between 5 and 8 p.m. So I'm just so like, yeah, in a couple of weeks' time, obviously not now, at the beginning of January, if you're like, well, hold on, it's 2 o'clock. Where's Daily Deco? Why has that not gone up? It's going live at 5 just to test the waters, because we can do that. We can do that at the moment. There's nothing set in stone with any of the videos.
Oh, so we can start filming in that morning, and then Shaun can edit and
Shaun
sort of
cannot
release
upload that video at the same day. God, no. if we have a studio and the broadband is good, then yes, technically we could do that. So then we could actually film something that's relevant on that day. Up until then, ain't no chance, mate. Ain't no chance.
No. Yeah.
We need to find out about that. It's completely subtext to the viewers, but we need to talk to our boss, the powers that be, about the studio today.
Yeah, we do. I think we've got a meeting, haven't we?
Yeah,
we can cut all this bit. Yeah.
No, I'm leaving it in. Mate, this is like Unplugged. We're like, they have MTV
This
Unplugged.
is what people watch for.
Yeah, they don't watch Daily Deco for marine news or anything, scuba diving news. They watch it for your brandy
information
butter and to find out when we have meetings with our powers that be.
I think I just realised that this weekend that I didn't need to clean my kitchen to make brandy butter, because there's like no cooking involved. It's literally just stirring.
Well, I want the most cleanest, polished spoon possible.
Yeah, I can do that.
And the spoon has to be nautical.
Nautical themed spoon.
Yeah, so I want like a shipwreck rather than a nice spoon at the end. I want it to be like a shipwreck.
Okay.
Or a bolt snap. Stir it with a bolt snap.
Yeah, I've got a few. I might need to put one through the dishwasher though.
I'm not gonna. No, it's fine.
Oh, it tastes salty and
Do you need to like fold? You're gonna have to fold the ingredients, because if so, you need to use like a cookie, like a line marker. Use that to fold.
The only utensils I'm allowed to use.
This is fantastic! This is fantastic. Yeah.
Okay, I'll see what I can do. I don't know how I'm gonna measure things, but yeah, I'll see what I can do.
Put it in your cylinder.
No, I can't.
You can.
No, I really can't.
You can.
No. Can you imagine trying to clean the inside of a dive center?
No, just throw it away. Throw it in the ocean.
Take it to my dive center, and it's like, oh yeah, it's in for a hydro test. They're like, why does it taste like brandy butter? It's like, well, why did you taste my dive cylinder?
Yeah, how dare you? Disgusting. Anyway, guys.
One thing that I did learn as well is that apparently rum butter is popular, and I actually have quite a lot of Kraken rum at the moment, so that is fairly nautical themed. So I might do that as well. Yeah, there you go.
Giving yourself more work.
Well, I just figure it's more work for you as well. Anyway,
right.
Yeah, that's it before we keep rambling. Yeah, because we rambled for about 10 minutes now. If you have any sort of questions, comments, queries, corrections, let us know down in the comments below. As Shaun said, there will be a Q&A this Friday, but next Friday it will be Thursday, the day before.
Yeah, so the day before, so it's changed, and then there's a Christmas video on Christmas Day. Then Surface Interval and Daily Deco are the same, and then it's the product breakdowns, the little insight videos, advice videos. Monday, and then we are back on the 4th, but again, we will, on the Q&A, we'll probably say what we're saying again, just to edit in for people.
Yes.
So we'll be...
And that's it for today. Thank you for watching, everybody, and obviously, safe diving.
Stay classy, scuba divers. Woo!